Long ago, in the heart of the vast savanna where the golden grasses danced with the whispers of the wind, there was a village called Banchua. It lay nestled by the Mbali River, which shimmered like a necklace of silver under the gaze of the moon. In this village lived Zalira, a girl whose story began in shadows but would one day bloom brighter than the moonflower that opened its petals at night. Zalira was born into a poor family. Her father, a humble weaver, and her mother, a gatherer of wild herbs, passed away when she was just a child. Left alone in the world, she was sent to live with her uncle, Mambo, who was said to be both cunning and cruel. Mambo's compound was large, filled with clay pots brimming with millet and a herd of goats that bleated in the evening light. Yet, his heart was as barren as the desert sands. Though he had plenty, Mambo hoarded his wealth, leaving Zalira to eat scraps from his table and toil from dawn to dusk. "Do you think kindness grows on trees?" he would bark whenever Zalira dared to ask for more than the crust of bread she was given. "You must earn your keep." From an early age, Zalira learned to endure. She bore the bruises of his anger and the sting of his scorn, finding solace only in the stories of her late mother. Each night, as she lay on a mat in the corner of the storeroom, she would close her eyes and remember the tales of heroes and heroines who triumphed over hardship with courage and wisdom. Her favorite story was of the Moonflower Spirit, who lived in the Mbali River and granted blessings to the pure of heart. One day, Zalira whispered to herself, "I will bloom like the moonflower, no matter how much darkness surrounds me." One evening, as Zalira carried a clay pot of water from the Mbali River, she heard a rustle in the reeds. Startled, she froze. Out stepped a young man dressed in fine robes of indigo, embroidered with golden threads. His name was Jabari, the son of a wealthy trader passing through Banchewa. "I did not mean to frighten you," Jabari said, his voice warm like the sunlit earth. "Are you all right?" Zalira nodded but said nothing. Years of Mambo's scolding had taught her to keep her head low and her words few. Jabari, however, noticed her torn clothes and the way she winced as she shifted the heavy pot. "Let me help," he offered, taking the pot from her hands. Though she protested, his kindness was unwavering. Over the next few days, Jabari made excuses to visit the river, always timing his arrival to meet Zalira. He learned of her life with Mambo and saw the fire of resilience burning in her eyes. He was captivated, not by her beauty, though it was undeniable, but by her strength and the wisdom that gleamed in her every word. Meanwhile, Mambo grew suspicious of Zalira's frequent trips to the river and followed her one evening. When he saw her speaking with Jabari, his face darkened like a brewing storm. That night, he lashed out at her, accusing her of laziness and dishonor. "You think you're clever, don't you?" he sneered. "No man of worth would ever want you, a worthless orphan." Zalira's tears fell silently, but her heart burned with a resolve to rise above his cruelty. Word of Zalira and Jabari's meetings reached Jabari's family. His father, a proud and ambitious man, disapproved. "A trader's son does not marry a girl with nothing," he declared. But Jabari, like Zalira, was steadfast. He announced that he would marry her, despite his father's wishes. Before the union could take place, a mysterious illness struck the village. The elders declared it a curse from the ancestors, angered by someone's greed and wrongdoing. They called for a ritual, a test of character, to reveal the source of the blight. The ritual of the moonflower. The ritual involved gathering the rare moonflower from the river at midnight. It was said that only the pure-hearted could see its glowing petals. Zalira volunteered, much to the astonishment of the villagers, for the task was fraught with danger. On the night of the ritual, Zalira stood by the river, her heart pounding. As the moonlight kissed the water, she whispered, "Oh, Moonflower Spirit, guide me." The reeds swayed, and a soft light began to glow from the depths of the river. Zalira waded into the water, her steps careful yet determined. The glowing flower seemed to drift farther each time she reached for it, testing her resolve. Finally, she plunged her hands into the water and grasped the stem. When she emerged, the villagers gasped. The flower shone brighter than the stars, and Zalira stood bathed in its ethereal light. The elders declared that her purity of heart had lifted the curse. Mambo, shamed by the events, confessed his greed and cruelty before the entire village. He fell to his knees, begging Zalira for forgiveness. The crowd murmured, some demanding punishment, but Zalira stepped forward. "Uncle," she said, her voice steady, "you have caused me pain, but I will not let hatred grow in my heart. I forgive you, for the strength I have gained is greater than the heart you gave me." The villagers, moved by her grace, celebrated her as a heroine. Even Jabari's father, witnessing her bravery and wisdom, gave his blessing for their union. Zalira and Jabari were married under the light of the full moon, with the glowing moonflower as a symbol of their love and resilience. Zalira's story spread far and wide, inspiring countless others to face hardship with courage and compassion. And so, Zalira, the girl who began in shadows, became a beacon of light in the heart of Banchowa. Like the moonflower, she bloomed in the darkest of nights, proving that even in the harshest soil, beauty and strength can grow.